Okay, so today I'm going to be making some chili, and we call it spicy hot devilish chili. So anyways, let's get started with our ingredients. So we're going to use, this is 5 pounds of pork shoulder that has been cut in small little cubes. We're also going to use some pork sausage, and you can get hot, mild, or just plain. And then we're also going to use some bacon, vegetable oil, a cup of coffee, some oregano, pepper, and some of this chicken bouillon, some cumin, cayenne pepper, and this right here is California ground chili. We're going to use 2 jalapenos, 1 onion, 7 cloves of garlic, some beef broth, crushed tomatoes, and 4 cans of red beans. And the size of the crushed tomatoes is 28 ounces. And then, oops, for the broth, it's 14 ounces. And so, let's get started with this recipe. So the first step you're going to do is you're going to cut up your bacon. It doesn't matter the size because you're going to put them in your pan. You're going to fry it up till it's nice and crispy. Okay, so your bacon is cooking up right now and it's getting all nice and crispy. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and cut up your onion into little cubes. Same thing with your jalapenos and your garlic. And you're just prepping everything so that way you can just toss everything in. I already opened up the sausage and I put it in a little bowl. And oh, I forgot to mention, you're also going to use salt because you're going to go ahead and salt and pepper your pork. So salt and pepper it to your liking. So our bacon is completely done. I took it out and it's nice and crispy. And I took out some of the oil that the bacon released and I left a little bit in there. The next thing you're going to do is go ahead and throw in your onions in there. So you're going to saute your onions until they get translucent. Now that they're translucent, I'm going to go ahead and add my sausage in there. So I'm going to let this cook and then I'll be right back. So here it is. The onions are already nice and translucent and the sausage is almost cooked, not completely all the way. So my next step is to add my garlic and my chile. The chile jalapeno. And keep in mind that you don't have to add all this spiciness in there. You can do without the jalapenos if you don't want them in there. And you don't have to add that much garlic in your chili if you don't want. We do. We like a lot of garlic. And it'll keep the vampires away from us. Just kidding. Oh my god. I cracked myself up. But anyway, so you don't have to put in as much garlic if you don't want. And again, you don't have to put any of the jalapenos. You can just not even put any at all. So I'm going to let this cook down for a little bit. And then I'm going to add I'm going to take this out and then add my meat to it. I took out the sausage already. It's not completely cooked, as you can see. But I did add some more oil here just to coat the bottom of the pan. And I'm going to add my pork in here in batches. And I put it on high heat. That way it cooks quickly. It just browns on the outside. Okay, so you see, there it is. It's frying up in this pan. And I'm just making sure they get brown, like a crust on them. They don't have to be completely cooked. And then I'm going to go ahead and take them out. Okay, so the amounts that you're going to use for your spices, you're going to use 1/3 of a cup of the Chile California. You're going to use 1 tablespoon of comino. You're going to use 1/2 of a tablespoon of the oregano. And then you're going to use 1/4 of a teaspoon of the cayenne pepper. Or I had to transport everything into the bigger pot because it was not going to fit in the smaller one. So all I did was I finished browning my pork and I put back my sausage into the pot. And now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add my spices. Okay, so I added my spices to this. I'm gonna let this cook for a little bit. Can you guys see that right there? Oh my God, it smells so good. So I'm gonna cook that for about a minute. All right, guys, so that's what it looks like after being cooked for about a minute. Now, if you don't want to add sausage to your chili, that's fine. You don't have to add sausage. You're going to add your cup of coffee to it. You're going to add your beef broth. And you're going to add your crushed tomato puree. You're also going to add 1.5 cups of water. You're going to add your pork into this now. And now you're going to let it cook for about 1.5 hours. I forgot to tell you guys that you need to cover your chili. Just cover it. And then let it cook on medium heat, on medium flame. Alright guys, so here it is. It's only been 1 hour. And I actually did lower the flame a little. So it's been 1 hour. I know I said 1.5 hours, but you know what? 1 hour is good enough. And then we're going to add our beans to it. And I drained the beans and I rinsed them. They're just red beans. I'm going to add some chicken bouillon in here. I'm going to add about a tablespoon. And then I'm going to let it cook for about another like 40 minutes. Till it's nice and tender. You want to lower the heat now a little more so that way it just kind of simmers until it's nice and tender, and then it'll be ready to serve. Okay, so here it is. It's completely done. It's cooked. I already served it. And the way I serve it is I put some cheddar cheese, sour cream, and that crispy bacon. I put it right on top, and some chives. And then we're going to eat it with some cornbread muffins that I made. And drink some Coke with it. And if you want to add more salt to it, you can do so. I think it's perfect the way it is. So now it's time to enjoy. We do this every year in October around Halloween time and when it starts to get cold. So I hope you enjoy this spicy, hot and spicy, devilish chili. Enjoy, everybody. Bye.